Let me test and make sure that I am on. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Okay. I had to test it.
I wasn't tripping if you came home or not, because I was on the couch
If you try to say anything, I won't hear you because I got my headphones in. So, I guess yesterday when I did the same video, it did not register my voice. So here I am again, redoing it because I want you guys to actually hear what I have to say. So welcome. If you're watching this, I appreciate you for the support. And this will be like basically a walkthrough on how I use Rockstar Editor myself. Hold on, let me turn all my audio out of my headphones so I can hear better. But basically it'll be a walkthrough on how I use Rockstar Editor and how I basically teach everyone else to use Rockstar Editor, because a lot of people hit me up and they're like, how do you edit your photos so good? I'm like, yeah. So I'm doing this for you. Share to your friends, let them know, and then we all can have amazing content on Instagram. So basically, sorry, I was trying to post on Instagram. What's up? What's up? But basically, like I said, it'll be a walkthrough on how to use Rockstar Editor. I'll give you some tips and some don'ts to your photos, because sometimes when I go on Instagram, some of y'all photos, I don't know, not some of y'all, but some people that follow me, I go and look at their content and it's not the best. Obviously you're still learning, but I just want to share the wealth with everyone else so then we all can have great content. The biggest thing to making content is that you just want to make your photos appealing to the eye. Like, they have to appeal to the eye. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and then I hope you guys like it, and it's very informational for you that need help. But like I said, share with who you need to share with. It'll probably take about, yesterday it took like, I did this for like 40 minutes, but that's because I talk a lot, so I'll try to not last so long, but you can just skip through to the important parts. But anyways, hopefully y'all can still hear me out there. Let me double check just in case, because I don't want another thing like yesterday where I couldn't hear anything. Okay. So, basically what you're going to do is you're going to go to that main menu. From story mode, you can't get there through, he said, I think some don't know about Rockstar Editor, so they still use their IRL phone or game phone to take pics. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, sometimes when you're first starting out, you're gonna want to get a photo and you're like, oh, I don't know how to take photos. So like, you might mess around with your character and then place them a certain way and be like, oh, I'm gonna screenshot this, and you have the map in the background, or you could take the map off and screenshot it like this. Now, don't, you know, it's okay to come from in-game phones, because I think we've all came from in-game phones. You know, Rockstar Editor was a foreign thing to us. So I know when I first started, my pictures were always in game. They were always down like this, or you know, if I'm on my bike, it would be up like this, like, and then I would take a photo. So when you graduate from the in-game phone, you use this thing called Rockstar Editor. So you're gonna go to your options, and you're gonna scroll over to where it says Rockstar Editor, and then you'll see a screen like this. You're gonna click on it, and then it'll take you to Rockstar Editor. So what I do is I always go to create a new project. It'll ask you, are you sure? Yes, we are sure, obviously. And you're gonna add a clip. So here I have some clips here. So I have some clips from like September 11th, when we did the September 11th ride with Convict Kings. Shout out to Convict Kings. And thank you for inviting us. I know 48kg had a September 11th ride too, so shout out to them also. I'm sorry that I did not get to go, but I'm sorry. I apologize. But I have some clips here that I can edit, and I'm probably gonna start with like what I started with yesterday, which is this one. This one is a photo. It's a clip of me and Lily, our new hang-around. Shout out to Lily. And I'm just gonna show you some things that you can do with a basic photo like this, because this is probably gonna be a basic photo. So yeah, the clip's gonna load up, and remember, one thing you want to remember is you have to get these clips in game. So if you're playing online, you have to get the photos or the clips in online. You have to hold down and press X and it'll start recording, and then hold down and press X again to stop recording. And then you have to then go to story mode and go to Rockstar Editor from story mode. You cannot go to Rockstar Editor from online, so just remember that. So usually the first thing I like to do when I get in here, you know, all these little options on the side, the first thing I like to actually do is I like to go through and see my best angles, or what is gonna look like a good photo to me. You know, like, I like to just scroll through and see what kind of stuff I got. Yeah, I don't have Xbox, so I don't know, sorry. But I like to scroll through and see what I got, and see what my characters are kind of doing. And then these little points I'm putting down, I use X to put down the points, and I'm just basically marking my spots for every little photo I'm gonna try to make. So every time I feel like it's a photo opportunity, I'm gonna press X so that, you know, I save it, so that I'm not searching for it again and it's like, what the F, bro, where did my photos go? You know what I mean? So I got 3 good points. I'm probably gonna start with this one. So what I like to do is I go to cameras, and when you go to cameras, you have all these options you can choose from. You can do, now your game camera is the camera that you use to basically record the clip, and that's what I was on. That's what you're always going to be on when you go to cameras. You're automatically going to be on the game camera. Then when you go, you'll see free camera is what we use. You'll see preset front, preset rear, preset right, preset left, preset overhead, and then that's it. So we use the free camera because it basically gives us free reign to do anything we want to the photo. And then there's all these little options down here, but just go straight to edit camera, and then you can kind of just, you know, use the camera to your advantage and turn it around how you want and just play around with it. So the biggest thing I like to do when I'm starting to edit a photo is I really like to get that good angle. So Me and Lily are right here on our bikes. We want both of our characters are shown. There's a nice background behind us. The Vespucci Beach Clubhouse, which is the best clubhouse on the game. But you see, both of our characters are in it. Both of our characters are visible. Both of our bikes are visible. It could be a good photo. So if you use your left analog stick and you go up on your left analog stick, you can zoom in. Yeah, and this is a pretty good, like, this ain't a bad photo. It's cool, you know, it's cool. But when you click in on R2, it'll zoom in. When you click in on L2, it'll zoom out. So those are two key things you want to remember. You want to be able to zoom in and out, because what that does to your photo is it really highlights your characters. You can see your characters. They're visually appealing and they just look better all around when they're zoomed in on, instead of being way out here and you can barely see my character's face. You know what I mean? So what I like to do is I like to zoom in as much as possible on my photos, and then I'll take my left analog stick and back out. So then you see it creates a different image. Now it's me and Lily. You can see my face perfectly. You can see Lily perfectly. I mean, the bikes aren't being shown, but you can see that we're on bikes. The background is blurred just a little bit, but you can still tell, like, we are you can still tell, like, we're riding. It's a sunny day, whatever, you know, we're chilling. So basically that's what I like to do, because as you can see, the background is now, like, distorted depending on how you look at it. It's blurred, so then it really highlights just the characters, and that's what we really want to do, is highlight the characters when we do this. So I'm actually going to back out a little bit, just a tad. You kind of just have to figure out the best angles that are appealing to you, because some people don't like to have their photos zoomed all the way in. I mean, yeah, to me it looks better when it's zoomed in because I can see everything, but some people like their photos all the way out like this. I mean, this isn't a bad photo either, but I choose to have mine closer, because if I were to post it on Instagram and that's far away, you wouldn't be able to see my character really. So yeah, if you use L1 and R1, it'll take you up and down on your photos. So I like to use that also to really get the good angle on my photos. So anyways, you see me and Lily here. Cute. And I'm just gonna make sure that my character's eyes are open. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. So basically, once you get that good angle, like, this would be a good photo. It doesn't have a filter, but it would still be a good photo. Like, if you were to upload this, you would probably still get likes, and it'll probably be like, fire this, oh my god, what a great photo. Yeah. But yeah, so but to add a little bit more to your photo, what you want to do is you want to really, like, add some effects onto it. So usually when you go to effects, the first thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna scroll over and see all these effects, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, this is cool. Yeah, like, oh my god, there's so many effects to choose from, and you're probably gonna settle on an effect like this, or you're gonna choose an effect like this, or you're gonna choose something like this. Now, you know, those effects they're not bad. You know, you can still see your characters, they're still visible, and they still look good. But you can do so much more to your photos if you just turn down the filter intensity and turn up everything else. Like, and I'll show you how to do that right now. But the biggest problem that people run into is that they put on a filter like this, and then they think they're done, and that's it. Oh, that's their photo. Like, which isn't bad, okay, whatever. But at the same time, you have to go back to, is this visually appealing to everyone else? Because these are the people that are liking your photos. I mean, if you like it, you like it. If you like it, you like it. To each his own. But at the same time, would I like a photo like this? I don't know. Would I? Maybe. But I would still be like, you should have turned on the filter a little bit. That's what I feel like. But, so anyways, when you choose your best filter, usually I go for glacial. I usually go for thermo, which is this one. I usually go for, I've been using, hold on, sorry, I passed it. I've been using this one lately because when I take photos with bright lights in the background, this one dulls the light, so it's not like washing out my character or washing out my photos. But I think I'm just gonna go back to my roots and use glacial. Oh, and Touch of Evil is pretty good too. But I'm gonna use glacial. And what I like to do is I like to turn my filter intensity, which is this thing right here that I'm highlighted on. I like to turn it down all the way to like 15, maybe 20 sometimes, 15, 10, 15 or 20 is what I like to have it on. So I usually start at 15, and that's like my, my breaking point right there. Or sometimes I'll turn it up to 20 and it still doesn't look bad. It just depends on what you're comfortable with and what looks good to you. So, and then look, like, it makes your photo look a little better. Like, it's not too much, but it's just enough to highlight your photo. So, like, I would stop here. Sometimes you can stop here and, oh, you already have a photo. Yeah, that's wonderful. But these other little things down here create more effects to your photo that just make it pop a little more. So I like to use contrast, and I like to turn my contrast up to like 15 or 20 depending on what it looks like, because sometimes contrast can make your photo a little bit too bright. So sometimes I'll turn it down to like 15 and it looks okay. Sometimes a little bit goes a long way. Like, you might think 15 didn't make a difference at all, but to my eyes it made a little bit of a good difference. So I'll do 15 for contrast. Sometimes I turn down my brightness, just one, or turn it up depending on what it looks like. Like right now we're all washed out. I don't like that look, so I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. And then sometimes I like to use the vignette and turn it up just a tad, not a lot. You saw when I turned it up to like 8, it was like intense, but I'm probably gonna turn that up to like 5. I don't touch the saturation because I don't like my photos too saturated. Like, this is too much for me. That's too much. And now that's only at 6 notches. Like, if I use saturation, it's 1 or 0 or -1. Because even if I take some saturation out, after a while, it becomes like, I mean, that doesn't look bad, but after a while, it just becomes like really washed out, and I don't like that. I like to keep the color in, depending on if I'm doing a black and white photo or not. Which I don't really do black and white photos. But I think I'm going to put my saturation at 0. I think I'm just going to leave it at 0. I think it's fine the way it is. But, yeah, the biggest thing to remember is, yeah, you could be done, and your filter could be done at just 15%, and you could be done because it's a filter, but at the same time, you have to learn how to use this other stuff too, because this adds a little bit more to your photo, and you can really make stuff pop, and you can add more color. The contrast really helps. It makes I feel like when you add contrast to your photo, it makes your photo just be a little bit more realistic. And I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. But yeah, like then I would be like, oh, I'm done with this photo, and that took like, only because I'm explaining it to you guys, it took a little longer, but usually it takes me about, I don't know, 5 minutes a photo, maybe 2 to 5 minutes a photo, and then I send it out and I post it from there. So yeah, I would be done with this photo at that moment. Another thing I want to talk about is the depth of field. So basically, the depth of field is basically the blurriness that comes along the photo. So as you can see, the background is blurred out. My window's blurred out. You need to learn how to use this too, because it can really make or break what your character looks like also. So you don't want this. You don't want your characters to be blurry, because this looks stupid. And then you don't want none at all, because I mean, yeah, it doesn't look bad with any, but at the same time, the background is kind of too much right now, you know. So if you just blur out the background just a little bit, it makes a whole lot of difference. So I'm just gonna try my best to like figure out how I want to do this. Oh, so you can target your player, and then as you can see, Lily is blurry and I am not. Or you can make Lily not blurry and then I'm blurry, if that makes sense. So if I turn it down, I think I will then not, I'm still a little blurry, but not as much. But yeah, I used to play around with it a lot. I kind of just leave it on default now, because usually it has the best judgment. So I usually don't mess around with it too much anymore. But usually if I do custom and I go manual, because with manual you can choose where you want the blur to sit. So like if I wanted to blur to be on me but not Lily, I would then do, you know, this. Or if I want it on me, I mean, if I want to see me but not Lily, Lord, then I would then do this. Lord, let me see. Do this, if that makes sense. I think I'm gonna try to get it like right in the middle. And then try to turn it down if it lets me. Sometimes it doesn't do what you want it to do. Like, I don't know. It kind of did it. It kind of did what I was looking for, but not really. But that's all the way at 0%. So, I mean, I don't like it. So I'm probably going to just go back to default. But, yeah, the biggest thing about Rockstar Editor, you just have to come in and just play around with it yourself. Like, yeah, I can tell you to do this and to do that, but at the end of the day, you're the one editing your photo and I'm not editing it for you. So you kind of just have to be like, okay, this looks good, or that looks good, or I'm gonna try this or that. Especially when it comes to making videos with Rockstar Editor, because that's very time consuming, and there's not like, you kind of just have to make it your own and figure out how to do it yourself, literally. When I started making photos on Rockstar Editor, I literally had to just figure it out myself. I watched a YouTube video, of course, but besides the YouTube video, I learned it myself. But yeah, so you know, your photo's done from there, which I already turned the camera, but this would be a good photo that I would probably upload, you know. Just me and Lily chilling, looks nice. But one thing you want to remember is that you can get the most, the biggest tip I can say is get the most out of your clips. So like, yes, this is a long clip. My bad. Yes, this is a long clip right here, and there's a few things that I can get out of it. if that makes sense. Like, I can move the camera maybe behind us. And then you get a different angle. I can move it this way. Oh shit. I can move it this way and then scroll it down a little bit. And then you have, and then let me zoom out a little bit. So then you have the sun, the light, you have the buildings in the background, and we're just chilling in our neighborhood. Like, that's literally it. That's a good photo if you just want to do some scenery. You can zoom back in, get the bike, my cool little loafers. I know you like those. But I'm highlighting the bike, and I would use this as like a background photo. So when I was talking about contrast earlier, I use a lot of contrast. Like when I want a background photo for my PS4 or for my phone or whatever, or if I'm making a banner or something, or you know, a flyer for an event or something, I use a lot of contrast in the background because it makes the photo like really pop. So like I would use this or something like this as like a flyer for an upcoming event, and then I would put all the wording like on the side right here. So yeah, that's a good angle if you're looking for something like that. If you want to highlight just Lily by herself, you can do something like this, and then the right and left arrows on your D-pad, they turn and tilt the camera however you want it to go. So if I tilt it this way and I go out, you know, Lily can kind of have her own little photo if she wanted to post it, you know. Just like I said, using the camera to your advantage. If you really want to get Lily's character like as if she was sitting here by herself, then this would be an option right here. If you want to get my character just by herself chilling, this would be an option right here. You can see my bike. I'm swagged out, swagalicious, looking good. Let me stop. But then this would be a photo I would use. Or even depending on what you like. If you like more light or less light, then it just depends on you. You can kind of, like I said, just getting the bikes would be an option too. You can kind of do something like this. So then it's just the bikes. But yeah, like really use your photos to really get the most out of your photos. Like really get the most out of your photos. I'm gonna do another clip so you guys can see how rain really makes your characters pop and makes your characters look good. I'm gonna edit another clip so you guys can see that. But yeah, the biggest thing you want to do is when you exit, usually I press no to save changes. You can save your changes if you want to, and I think it does save what you change, but I usually click no because I usually end up deleting it anyway unless I'm making a video. But even still, even when I'm making a video, I still delete it just in case I want to do something different with the video. So I'm going to, oh shoot, what am I doing? I clicked the wrong thing, my bad. And then to delete your clip off the slide, you press triangle to delete, and then you can then add another clip. So I'm gonna take a clip from, I think no I didn't, okay. So I'm gonna take this clip and this was when we hung out with Mario and Jay from Convict Kings. Shout out to Convict Kings. And it was raining, so I really want to show you guys what the rain really does to your characters and how good it makes your characters look. So you see me and Kai are standing here, so of course that would be my first little point. Hold on, let me see what my character is doing. So that would be like my first point. I'm just looking for, like I said before, looking for those little shots that'll really turn out to be what you think is good photos. Cause sometimes you'll get a clip and you won't have any photos. Like you'll think, oh, I got a clip and I got all these awesome photos, I can't wait to edit. And then when you get to Rockstar Editor, it's like, what photos? You know what I mean? Like you didn't get anything. So you kind of just have to be aware of what's going on around you. Be aware of what your character's doing. As you can see, I have my character walking around. I have her walking around for a reason, because sometimes I like when my character just looks natural and it looks candid. Other times, I mean, posing, using actions and posing is good too. But most of the time I usually go for natural looking photos. I know when I take photos with my crew, it's more of we're posing all the time, but it doesn't have to be like that. Ooh, okay. So this is what I edited yesterday, and I'm gonna show you what I did. So you see me and Mario right here with his Johnny Bravo hair. Like I said, I'm zooming in because that's how I like my photos to look. Zoomed in. And I'm gonna put the camera down a little bit because one thing I like to do is I really like to line up the camera with my character's eyes, so it looks like, you know, she's posing for the camera, or, you know, looking at the camera at least. So that's what I like. I like to make sure all the characters are looking at the camera because it looks like a planned photo, if that makes sense. But you know, me and Mario here looking like bad bitches. So when I add the filter on, I think I used this one. No, I didn't. I think I used this one. So this time I'm not gonna go too heavy on the contrast. Okay, so I'm not gonna go too heavy on the contrast this time, but as you can see, it just makes the photo pop a little more, especially with the rain. Because look at my character's like arms, like, oh my god, she's all shiny and it just looks nice. Like his cut is shining, it just looks good, visually appealing. It kind of makes your character pop too, like the rain. I don't know, I just feel like photos look better with the rain. Like that's just my personal opinion. Like you don't have to have rain in every photo, oh my gosh, but when you do have rain, it does make your characters look nicely. Let me see. what thermal looks like. So every time I make photos, I always scroll through my favorite filters just to see how each of them looks before I finally settle on one. So I think I'm gonna go with thermal because it just looks good with it. This kind of looks like a movie poster, low-key, but I don't know. Anyways, so like, let me show you. This is how I kind of get the rain off, so you can see like the little raindrops in the background. Like, oh, what is that? You know, the raindrops. There's one right there. There's one right there in the middle. So usually what I do to get the raindrops off is I'll just like shimmy my oops, what did I do? My bad. Oh shit, I'm messing up. Okay, but I'll just shimmy my my left and my right arrows on the D-pad back and forth, and usually that'll make the rain like go down and go away. It takes a little bit of time, but it'll make it go away eventually. And I mean, if you want to keep the rain on there, you can, but sometimes I choose not to, because sometimes the rain can get in the way of the photo, and then it's like, oh damn, like it's in the character's face, like how this one is about to do right now. Like, get out of here, dude. But yeah, so that's usually how I take the raindrops off. But let me see what happens if I turn down the brightness just a tad. But yeah, so that would be a good photo of me and Mario. I would probably upload that to Instagram, which I did edit it yesterday, so I'm probably gonna upload that soon. Then the biggest help ever is when you can copy and paste your effects. So in the right hand corner you see copy effects, press L3. That's the best thing ever, because you can literally take the effects that I have right here and place it on another slide. So if I wanted to do me and Kai, I would then paste my effects here. It gives me all my effects from the photo of me and Mario, and then all I have to do is change the camera. But my effects are already there. You know what I mean? So that helps out a lot. A lot. And then usually what I'll do is I will sometimes I just like to get photos of other people. If I see like their character looks good and I edit it, I'll usually send them the photo like, oh hey, I got this photo of your character. Like, because why not? You're sharing the wealth, you're getting all these angles, might as well take the photo of the person and then move on. Like, Jay was just standing here, so if I wanted to get a photo of Jay, I would just screenshot that to him and be like, hey Jay, here's a photo of you, just in case you ever want to use it, you know, you never know. But you know, or Mario and his badass makeup, like, oh, here's a photo of you, you're welcome, whatever. But yeah, really use your photos, use your clips to your advantage, like, because you can get so many photos out of one clip if you just attempt to, or if you just look for what's visually appealing. That's the biggest tip I can remember. The biggest don't I have is don't use your effects on 100%, because when I use my effects on 100%, then, oh shoot, my bad. If I use my effects on 100%, then my photo looks crappy and I don't like it. So like this is so annoying. This is so annoying. Any of these filters on 100% is annoying. Like, ugh. Like, dude, turn down your filter. You know what I mean? Turn down your filter. That's the biggest thing you need to remember, is turn it down. Like I said, I go by fives, so 5, 10, 15, 20. Or I'll do, my bad. Let me go back to my filter. Or I'll do, I never do in the middle, but I mean, I guess you can. I just am a little OCD, so I go by fives. But, yeah. Sometimes if I need to, I'll do the middle. But most of the time, I'll just go 15. Sometimes I'll go 20, depending on what I want the photo to look like. And then, you know, I never go past, like, 25. Literally, I don't even think I use 25 on a filter. I usually just keep it, I think the highest I go is 20, and then that's it. So yeah, just remember that. That's the biggest no-no, is using your filters on 100%. Another big no-no is try to stay away from killer clowns. Let me go to it. Killer clowns is it's a good filter, I'm not gonna lie. It's okay, like, it's cool, but I don't know, maybe other people have found out how to use killer clowns to their advantage, but the only time I used killer clowns was when I first learned how to make photos, and I would use it, of course, on 100% because I didn't know, you know, how to actually use Rockstar Editor, so I would use it on 100%, and I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not a bad filter, it's just, it's a little too much, like, it's very overbearing, and I mean, the only way I would use it is if I took a photo at night and I wanted it to be daytime, then I would use killer clowns, but I don't really do that at all. So yeah, I don't really use killer clowns, but it's just very, like, I don't know, it looks like you're in a dream world, like, what in the world is going on? But yeah, try to stay away from killer clowns unless you really know what you're doing with it. But like I said, the filters I use are almost all the same. If you look at my photos on Instagram, it's going to be Touch of Evil sometimes, depending on if I took the photo at night compared to the morning. Sometimes I'll use Touch of Evil. Sometimes I'll I usually use Glacial, and I usually use Thermo, which is this one. Sometimes I'll use Cathode, which is this one. It just depends on the photo, like, but like I said, I don't use these filters on 100% because they're just very overbearing, and I think Touch of Evil is actually black and white, and so is Glacial. So, yeah, just the less the better. A little bit goes a long way. Just remember that. Let me see if I can actually find some clips of me on a photo map. So then I can show you what I do with my photo maps. I don't know if I have a photo map saved. All this is old clips. I'm a hoarder of photo clips, just so y'all know. I'm a hoarder. I do not delete clips, and I don't know why. Like, I have stuff from a long time ago, from like when LDMC first started. Let me see. Oh, actually, did I delete them? Oh no, I deleted them. But this was from February 22nd of this year. So yeah, you can see, like, oh, you can use this one. This is a photo map.
There we go.
So another good thing to use is photo maps. Obviously, they're just maps in game that people make that you can just start up a job, usually they're a capture, or usually they're a TDM. No, they're a capture, or usually they're a race, or even a stunt race. My bad, TDM, what am I thinking? But usually they're those kinds of jobs that you will start up, and it'll just be lights, it'll be platforms, and that usually, if you come to a map like that, is usually going to be used for photos. So yeah, I think this was from one of our first ladies nights, actually, this photo. Yeah, because there's Mary Lou, shout out, Kai, Michaela, me with my old hair, Giggles. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry, let me look at the bag. Let me see. What does that say? Iron Souls. Oh, she used to be in... Okay, I know who that is. She used to be in Iron Souls. I don't know if she still is, though. I don't know if they're still up, actually. Winnie. Kiera. Yes. The Hoes. Unholy Ones. Shout out. Oh, that was when Giggles was in her old crew. Yeah, okay. But, yes, this is from, like, one of our first, I think this is from our first ladies night. So, like, you see how the background is, like, very much, like, scenery, Dope Arrow Pier, you know, that's what a photo map is gonna be. And then when you turn around, you see all these lights, you're like, what the F is going on? It's most likely a photo map, okay? So, usually when you're editing on a photo map, it's easier, and you can get good photos right off the bat, because you see the rain, you know, and all that. But I think I'm gonna do me and Michaela here. I'm gonna crop out everyone else and just do me and Michaela. Oh, and I guess I'll get Kai too, cause she's in there. But yeah. So you see all the rain. The background is, you know, popping. So if you really want to showcase the background, you can do that. Like I said, I zoom in so it'll make the background blurry for me. And then I'll put my effect on, which is my go-to. Yeah, the biggest thing about, like I said, the biggest thing about Rockstar Editor is just going in and playing around with everything. Like, understanding what everything does and getting your camera angles together. You just basically have to spend some time in it by yourself to really get what you want out of it. So yeah, and the lights create more light, so it's good. Contrast can brighten up your photo too. If you didn't know, now you know. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Or even just 0. Yeah. So you have to make sure you mess around with your brightness, only because you can really wash out. See, my character is darker. I have a black girl character, obviously, because I'm black. But like, if I don't pick my filters right, or place my lighting right, or get my filters together, then I can really wash out other characters that are white. I'm trying to showcase myself. So yeah, I look good, but then Kai and Michaela are washed out. You know what I mean? So I kind of just have to find a happy medium to where both of our characters look decent. You know what I mean? Like, this might be too dark for me, but they look okay. They look normal. So you kind of just have to find that happy medium in between both. So yeah. So then I would do that as like a photo. Like, hey girl, hey, this is our photo. I think filters just look good in general on photo maps. because that's what they're for. They're there to enhance those filters. Some can be too harsh, like thermal is pretty harsh. Killer clowns, no, I'm dead. But yeah, you just kind of have to, excuse me, you just have to go in and just play around with it yourself. Like, literally. Spend some time, do it yourself. Oh, another big thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to, what the freak am I doing? You don't want to zoom out your photos too much. So you don't want to do one of these things where it's all zoomed out and then try to go on your character, because then this looks dumb. You don't want to zoom out too much. So if you're gonna use the zoom out method, make sure you know how to use it and what you're doing with it. Like, if I want to get everybody, okay, this might be a good shot. I mean, the background is very far, but maybe I might want to zoom in a little more and then try to back out so I can get everybody. You know, like, this might look better. This might look better than this. Yeah, definitely. Like, what is going on? So yeah, just remember not to zoom out too far. And just remember, if you're gonna zoom in to showcase the background, make sure you're not trying to do 5 million characters at once, because it won't work. So like, look, I can't zoom out to get everybody because there's a light right there. And then, like, this is okay, but then again, I don't know. I don't personally like it. It's not appealing to my eye, but maybe you might like something like that. And then, you know, just remember taking the rain out. So here you can see the raindrops right here blocking the photo. Don't forget to take out your raindrops, so then it's not all up in your photo like, yo, what the heck is this? But sometimes maps have they have automatic rain. So like I said, it takes a while to get the raindrops off, but they do come off. They do come off. So yeah, just a few tips you need to remember. The biggest things you need to remember is get the most out of your clips, for sure. Turn your filters down from 100% and make it visually appealing to the eye. Like, the more realistic you make your photos look, the better they look, honestly. Another thing is, some people do use outside sources to edit their photos. I do not. Usually I'll just take it for what it is on Rockstar Editor and upload it like this, how it is, from there. Some people take it, they downloaded it, and then they use an outside filter on their phone or whatever app they may have, and then they'll upload it. I don't do that. Some people do, though. The biggest thing about saving your photo, the biggest thing you want to do is get a group chat by yourself. Whether you know how to make a group chat by yourself or not, I'll just give you a little tip. You can create a group chat with somebody else, and you can have them leave that group chat, so then you have it to yourself. Or you guys can call it a photo dump, and you can dump all your photos there and then refer back to it when you need to. But just get a group chat by yourself. Whatever the easiest way to get a group chat by yourself is, get it. And then the biggest thing is, you want to then press the share button, and then it'll pop up a screen, and you'll want to share the screenshot to that group chat, if that makes sense. So once you share it to that group chat, you have to get the PSN messages chat on your phone. Like, you have to get the app on your phone. Once you have it on your phone, you can go to the messages app, go to the photo, and then download the photo onto your phone. So step 1, make a group chat with yourself. Step 2, upload the photo to the group chat, or share the photo to the group chat. Step 3, you're gonna want to go to your PS Messages app on your phone. Step 4, click on the photo and then download it to your phone. And then step 5, you can then upload it to Instagram, because you cannot access Instagram from your PS4. You can't. So you're gonna have to get it on your phone, so then you can post it to Instagram. But yeah, I mean, like I said, everyone that's asked me how do I edit, this is usually what I tell them to do. I tell them to go in, play around with it. This is what I do, and move on. LDMC is a content-based crew. Not saying that we don't fight, but honestly, we don't really fight. But we make content, we make videos, we make pictures, and we post them for people to like or enjoy or share or whatever. But people, when I recruit people and I let them know, like, this is what it is, this is how we are, they're usually like, oh, okay, you know, I don't know how to take photos, but usually we'll teach them, like, hey, this is what you do to make photos, and we'll teach them how to edit with Rockstar Editor instead of taking phone photos. You know, ain't nothing wrong with a phone photo, we've all been there, but, you know, Rockstar Editor is just very much better, and I cannot wait until they get Rockstar Editor on Red Dead. That is what I'm waiting for. So, yeah, I want to do another video on how to make Rockstar Editor videos. It's time consuming, I can tell you that already, but I will show you guys how to do it. So, it'll probably just be a short video, nothing to it, just the basics, and then move on from there, like how I did with your photo session. But yeah, just stay tuned in, share it to who you need to share it to that friend that can't edit, that needs help, because I'm sure they'll enjoy it. Like I said, you can skip through and refer back to what's going on. I did about 3 clips for y'all, so y'all can see different ways and different strategies. So yeah, share, like, subscribe, whatever you gotta do. I appreciate you guys for taking the time out to watch, and yeah, so I think that's it.